It was Benny Hill who inspired me to write comedy monologues way back in the 70s, and I've been writing them ever since. I'm enjoying them too. That's part of writing poetry and comedy, is to enjoy them. So as a tribute to dear Benny, I like to do his very popular Birds and Bees monologue. I'd reached the age of 14 and I hadn't started courting, and my mum was getting worried about me. She said, "Dad, it's time you taught him all about the birds and bees." She said, "The birds and bees." He sat me on his knee. He said, "Now you remember Uncle Joe and that picnic a while ago, how he went into the woods with Auntie Pat, and how I chased old Riley's daughter and what happened when I caught her?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, birds and bees does that." He said, "It's time that you got wed." I said, "I'd rather drop down dead." He said, "What about that Maud from Ikeley Down?" I said, "Maud from Ikeley? She's been out with all the lads in Ikeley." He said, "Well, Ikeley's really quite a little town." He said, "You've got to get a wife. You can't go on enjoying life, or folks will think you're strange and start to frown." I said, "Now look, why should I buy a book when there's a thriving lending library in the town?" One day I found a friend. It was up by Badger's End. A little pigeon fell down at my feet. His feathers were flecked with red, and at first I thought he was dead. And then I knelt and I felt his little heart still beat. I cupped him in my hand and I ran home to my mam. She said, "Son, I'm as proud of you as I can be. You're thoughtful and you're kind, and you've got a gentle mind, and that'll do a treat for your old father's tea." I said, "You shall not touch my bird." And without another word, I ran into my room and shut the door. And I bathed him, and I warmed him, and I nursed him back to health. Because you see, I'd never really had a friend before. I taught him little tricks, like playing dead and picking up sticks. And the village girls, they brought bird seed every day. "Dad, you can't come in," I'd shout, "or my birdie will fly out." But of course I let the village girls all stay. There was Mabel from the stable, and Mary from the dairy. I even had a visit from our local beauty queen, and that great big Betty Mavery. She's got her own aviary. Oh, she's got the biggest parakeets I've ever seen. Dad said, "You've got to let him go." But Mum, she said, "Oh no, you just want to get some shooting practice in." And the vicar said, "My son, it really isn't done. And to lock up a wild thing, well, it's a sin." Next day, when all was still, I took him back to Badger's Hill. I lost the only friend I had that day. Not a word I said. I just kissed his little head. I opened my hand and I watched him fly away. He settled on the ground, then he fluttered all around, and then he flew up into the sky. And then I looked and I could see he was flying back to me. And then he swooped and he pooped right in my eye. I thought, that's bloody rude, and cool, there's gratitude. I hope they never cross a pigeon with a cow. Dad said, "Now here's a caper, I'll go and get a bit of paper." I said, "Don't be daft, he'll be miles away by now." Dad said, "I know you lost a friend, but it's really not the end. You'll be married and have a family of your own quite soon." But I never said a word, because you see, that little bird had lured 18 little ravers up to my room. So if anyone's got any spare cockatoos or a parakeet or a budgerigar even, I'll look after it.